Hello.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yes, cool. You can start.
Yeah, hello. I'm Sillion. I call myself Captain Future. And I'm going to talk about Clubhouse. Some of you have heard of it, about it, and some of you have been on the platform, but not everyone. It's only for iPhone and iPad so far. And it's a talk-only app. There's no video, there's no text so far. And on this app, you sign in, there's a hallway, and there's lots of different rooms. So this has been a COVID year for many of us, not all, but many people have been isolated at home, me especially. I've gone on here, as you can see. I've been on the internet for a long time, on every social platform. And when COVID hit, I hit the Zoom calls. We all got the Zoom fatigue and everything. And then in December, something happened. On the internet, a guy told me, there's a new app that everyone is talking about here in San Francisco. And it's called Clubhouse. Okay, I'll sign up and see what happens. We've been in the Zoom calls. We're so tired of being on video with people. But this is something different. There's no video here. And that made a large difference because you can sit in your bed, in your pajamas, in your morning robe, or even naked. So I signed up, created my first profile, and said, here we go. And I find out that was the only Swede there I could find. So I had 6 followers for the last couple of first weeks and things like that. But I found some very great people from the Americas and the US, and I hosted some great rooms. I wrote my first profile. You got 1 invite per 10 days and everything. And this is an app that is not like the other apps when it's me. You don't tell your story, there's no visuals, it's not one-way communication. It's very two-way, it's very authentic, you use your voice. So it's very different from Instagram and everyone else that has the story apps. And the best part of it, instead of sitting by a kitchen table or in your office or something like the Zoom call, you can go out in nature and walk by the sea and in the woods while you're being on this app, because no one gets annoyed by moving trees and moving things backward. You can even do it on your bike. So this has been good for me in the health way as well. Previous to this, I did something that we call the Glassbit Games. It's an exercise that is a collective sense-making and meaning-making exercise that we did on Zoom by far. This is the best exercise I did on Zoom and everything. But suddenly even that felt like, yeah, I can show up for that. But now I'm hooked on Clubhouse. I was there all the time, around the clock in the first couple of months. There was a lot of sharing. You had your dinner there, everything were cooking, you shared with people, you would stay up at night drinking beer like I did and things like that. And we even had a freestyle session where we rapped. And then, in late January, Elon Musk tweeted, I'm coming on Clubhouse, and the whole world went insane, because now everyone wanted to be on Clubhouse as well. There was a couple of million users before that, but around that time, it was exploding up to 10 million users or something like that. There was even a meme that's called Prelon, made a Musk review. So some people said that before all the people who was just there for the bus came on the platform, we had a very serene platform. This was never true, but they created a church that's called the Prelon Church. That was the meme for that. My record is 600 hours per week. I had to have used 2 hours because I ran out of battery, because the screen is always on, so it runs on a lot of battery. So my record is 106 hours in 1 week. And because of that, I got fairly famous, and I got interviewed in my local newspapers, Hallandsposten and Hallands Nyheter, for being the first hallänning, and I think I was the 3rd or 4th Swede on the platform and things like that, because I was always there, and people saw me in every room on Clubhouse. So that was a fun thing to do. And we started hosting a lot of great rooms. Me and Bertola Bergstrand and my colleague, we got Otto Scharmer as his first room on that. That was a big milestone for us. We host a weekly room called Meet the Nordics, where people from the Nordic countries and people from all over the world can come in and say hello and say hi. And of course, like that, this is before I had photo app. I have lots of pictures of me walking in nature and stuff like that. But now my picture feed on my iPhone and my Macs looks like this. Just a lot of screenshots of my profile pictures and of all the rooms I am in. I've gone with Clubhouse crazy. And here I played a lot. I came up with a background with blue and yellow, and I started doing a lot of profile pictures, several hundreds. This is some of the best of them, so I made a lot more than this. And I always switch profile pictures when I go into rooms and stuff like that. So this is something you can play with. And there's a term called pull to refresh, PTR. When you refresh their app, you see the profile. And you also, what are the other apps doing? Twitter Spaces is launched. I got it on 2 of my 7 Twitter accounts, Empathy Ninja and Sillion Valley. Sadly, no followers. I had these 2 rooms running 24 hours. No one came in but me in Twitter Spaces, so they're not really a competitor so far. And for all the lonely people over there, there's a fantastic opportunity. This was the midnight countdown for New Year's Eve that I went in a room. And I spent a lot of time with lonely people. And even some people said that Clubhouse has prevented them from making suicide. So it's a fantastic app for many lonely people over the world, connecting in voice. And me and Bartola, we've been navigating internet and connections and networking and weaving people together globally for 6 years together. He has done it for 15 years and I've done it for 7 years, something like that. And this is the next step. And I even made my April Fool's joke that I will be the next profile picture on the app. And several people actually bought it. It was my best April Fool's joke so far. But some people were saying, yeah, cool. What? Was it a joke? So, and this is of course May the 4th, May the 4th be with you. And I've, of course, there's many cool rooms about Star Trek, Star Wars, movies, everything you can think about is there. But I'm a big Star Wars and Star Trek fan, and I of course host several profile pictures like this many often. So if it's coming now in May to Android. The beta is out today for some of the people in San Francisco, very small group. But if you have an iPhone, iPad, come join there. Find me there. I'm Captain Future everywhere, on Instagram, Twitter, Clubhouse, LinkedIn, with a free in the end. So. And if you want to ask me any more questions about Clubhouse, I can talk for hours about this. It's very, very challenging to put this together in this short presentation.
Yes. Thank you very much. And
I have a question. Did you meet Dimitri in Clubhouse?
I met some, I think, Dimitri, is he here? No?
No.
No?
He's maybe online.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he's on the app, so we have met in some rooms there.
So you have to create a room to be able to speak, or you just
Yeah, you can create small social rooms,
Yeah.
like the 2 to 6 to 20 people, or you can create a large one that is more like interactive radio. There's a few people talking and there's thousands of people listening. And there's everything around. And the room can morph. It can start small and then you can open it up so it becomes 100 people, and it can shrink down to the 20 people that really want to stay around talking about this subject. And some rooms go on for days with the subject. They hand over the moderator role so they can talk about, and I'm talking about a lot of serious subjects, the 17 SDGs, water shortage, the climate change, leadership and everything. And that's a fantastic opportunity. People from all over the world that never talk to each other are now talking about each other, how we solve global problems. So for people who is in the change making business, this is the best thing that happened on the internet ever.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Does it ever records?
You can do a recording, like record your own podcast, and you put on it says recording in the title of the room, and they say they record everything and save them for security issues if someone is trolling and stuff like that. But we're not too worried about that. People on the internet today is very, very comfortable with that everything we do is saved in some way. And there's so much data there, so we don't know how to use it. And Edward Snowden has been on the platform without thinking too much about it. So if he's there and you don't have more security issues to worry about than Edward Snowden, you're safe. But if you're in his category, you should of course think once or twice about what you say.
Well, I'll think like this, that if there was something I really liked and it was very interesting,
Yeah.
I wish to listen to it again.
Yeah. That is the thing. They made a conscious choice not to make it recordable, because suddenly when you get home at the end of the day, you have a recording list of hundreds of hours of Clubhouse conversations that someone thinks you should talk about, and who should curate that and things like that. So I'm fairly comfortable that it's not live, and if you want, it's only live, not recorded. But if you want the good stuff, we still go back to the good YouTube, Facebook Live videos, and podcasts, of course. And some people do actually do their well-produced podcast on Clubhouse, or they have their after talk there. So after a live recording, they go down to Clubhouse and have their after talk with people ask questions and things like that. So it's very dynamic, and this is just a beta. I've been there for 4 months, and this is just the beginning. So this is the world is yours in this case.
One question: why is it just on app?
Because the technical limitations, it's much harder to make an app on Android because there's so many different mics you have to take into account. And they started on one platform, and now it's coming on Android, of course. But also most of the cool people in San Francisco and many of the curious intellectuals were on iPhones. It was an easy choice to make iPhone first, because most of them, like the first movers, were older than Apple. So.
Cool.
Anything more?
I have one more funny stuff. I don't have an iPhone, so my wife have iPhone, and so I installed it Clubhouse on her work iPhone, but I didn't use it yet.
Yeah.
More frequently, just once I was listening, but I have it on her iPhone.
Some people have an iPad aboard for the kids, and suddenly the kids couldn't use their iPad anymore because the parents was using it all the time and stuff. I heard all kinds of crazy stories around this. Yeah. Thank you.
More questions, no? Thank you. And I should tell you also that